I don't know about you, but that looked like money. Fleer!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's been a while since I've done a video like this where I kind of data dive into some Hall of Fame rookie cards. I used to do that quite a bit, and over the last few weeks, I've kind of dropped the ball on doing that, and that kind of sucks because I like to do it. This episode is going to focus on the 1960 through 1963 Fleer football, and you all know I love 1950, 51, 52, pretty much all Bowman football from the 50s. When it comes to the 60s, oh, bye, cat. My daughter's cat's joining us. When it comes to the 60s, outside of the 65 tall boys, I'd be hard pressed to find sets that I like better than all of the Fleer issues from 1960 to 1963. I just think they're all gorgeous. It is quite the challenge to find cards that are centered for those sets. The quality control was not very good. And there's not a whole lot of it out there. You know, surprise, surprise. As is the case with most vintage football, there is some scarcity to it. So, especially when you're looking for centered copies, copies that present well, all that good stuff. And that cat just wants nothing to do with this topic. Anyway, let's look at some information. Start here with my beautiful bullet point PowerPoint looking thing that reminds most of you of probably going to work. But anyway, here's a little brief bird's eye view of Fleer football. In 1960, Fleer released their first football set. It was also the same year that the AFL debuted. It was also the first year car companies included inserts, and Fleer had like sticker decals, and pennants as inserts in their packs. In 1961, Fleer released the set in two series. First series was NFL players. Second series was AFL players. In 1962, the set was trimmed down to 88 cards. There are no short prints, double prints, or anything like that. I think each card fit on the sheet 3 times, if I remember right. And there were no short prints, no double prints, anything like that. Quality control really reared its head in this series, or in this set. I had a hard time finding well, hello, kitty. Stand by.
3 hours later.
All right, I am back. The cat wanted nothing to do with Flair football. Where was I? Oh, yeah, the production problems in 62 were pretty bad. The Billy Shaw that you see pictured here, I actually bought that raw earlier this year at a card show and sent it in and had it graded, and I got a monster 6.5 out of that card. But you can see the centering is off on it, and we'll look at it again later. In 1963, it's got 3 huge rookies in it. Same thing as 62. It's an 88 card set, and it does have an unnumbered checklist, which I've considered chasing after that, but we'll see. And I'll show you this later, but there are cards that don't have the red stripe on the bottom, and those are all the cards that are divisible by 4. So odds are they were probably at the bottom of the printing sheet, which didn't have a stripe. Don't know for sure, but that's my guess. The big card that would have both versions with a stripe and without would be Lance Allworth. Yeah, so that's a bird's eye view of 60 to 63 Fleer. We're going to look at some of mine here in a minute, but I wanted to, like I always like to do, dive into some population data with PSA. So let me switch that over right now. There we go. So yeah, as you can see, these rookie cards are pulled from the PSA rookie card or Hall of Fame rookie card set registry. So For example, in 1961, Don Maynard and Jim Otto have cards and tops as well, but the Hall of Fame rookie card registry specifies Fleer, so that's what I'm going by. You'll also notice that Tom Flores isn't on here. That's because I did players, not coaches, but Tom Flores would be another Hall of Famer that has a rookie card, but that's not pictured here. But populations and all that kind of remain the same. They're low in the mid, not mid. They're about half of 1,000, like 500 for most of these. Starting in 1960, the Ron Mix, which is a cool looking card. That's going to be the first one we look at here in a minute. But you can see there's just about 450 of those graded. In 61, let me see, I'm going blind. There's about a little over 600 Don Maynards, a little over 500 Jim Ottos, and not even 400 Johnny Robinsons. And that card was tough too. I know they say there were no short prints, but my gosh, there were some cards that were tough to locate. I've already mentioned the Billy Shaw in 1962. That card is a pain in the butt, and it's a little pricey as well. Billy Shaw is the only player in the Hall of Fame who spent his entire career in the AFL. He never played in the NFL.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
He's strictly an AFL player, and he's the only guy that can say that's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But as you can see, PSA Pop is under 300 on that one. I think that's, man, I'm going blind. And then 1963, we have the big three, three of the biggest rookie cards of the decade. The Nick Bonacani, the Len Dawson, and the Lance Allworth. All of these cards suffer from centering issues. They all suffer from, I don't know if you've ever looked them up on eBay shopping, but you'll see a lot with the pinkish bleed through on the cardstock. That's very common as well. Centering, obviously, as I mentioned before. But very vibrant cards. I love the red on the white. They're just really cool. And they got the logo on there. Fleer just really had great looking cards in the 60s. It's too bad that they fizzled out after 63. As you can see, I think the Allworth is the most graded. Not sure how many times that one's been resubbed. I would guess quite a lot. It's a pricey card. It's a popular card, and it is the key card of the 63 set, along with the Len Dawson, in my opinion. So yeah, there you have it. 1960 through 63 Fleer in a nutshell. And the cat wants back in. Awesome. 1 second. Not sure if this kitty's going to make up his mind or not. What do you think about Fleer football, Cat? You couldn't care less. Put you back down. So where was I again? Oh yeah, populations are low. Again, all of these are, except for the Allworth, look to be under 1,000 total pop in PSA. And SGC is kind of reflects the same thing. Very low population. I wouldn't say there's a ton of demand. I don't think a lot of people are running around looking for a Ron Mix or a Johnny Robinson rookie card. But if you're going for a Hall of Fame rookie card registry set, these are part of that set. So anyway, without further ado, let me show off what I have. Let me switch this over. And we'll start off in 1960 with the Ron Mix. Such a cool looking image. I love the colors on the 60 Fleer set. He's the only rookie card in the PSA set registry for Hall of Famers. But 60 Fleer has some really cool images. The Bland is really cool. It's got kind of like a goal post behind him. But the Ron Mix, gorgeous colors on this one. Fleer just did everything right, I think. They're just very clean design, very bold design. Colors are fantastic. yeah, so there's the Ron mix. Next we'll go to the 61 Fleer Don Maynard. Now, as I mentioned before, Don Maynard and Jim Otto, who I'll show next, both have Topps cards in the same set, but Fleer has been the chosen one for the set registry for PSA. So that's what I'm kind of going by. But this is the Don Maynard, kind of a cool image. It's almost as cool as his 62 Fleer, which I'll show here. You can kind of see the stadium in the background, which I don't know if that's the Polo Grounds where they played. I can't remember where the Titans played, but it's kind of cool to see the old stadiums in some of these images. There's that cat. Make up your mind, cat. And here's the Jim Otto, one of the Iron Men of the game. Not wearing his signature 00 in this photo, but it's like he's out in a field somewhere in the plains of Kansas. Forgot to show the back of the Maynard, but here's what the backs look like on the Fleer. Again, really clean, really nice. And here's the Johnny Robinson. This one's off center. I tried forever to find one that was centered and just couldn't. It's really clean outside of the centering. I love the image. Like, it looks like I took this picture out of my back window, those clouds, and just it looks really cool. I love this card a lot. And I love doing these breakdowns because it gives me a chance to look at cards I don't normally look at every day. And this is the Billy Shaw that I mentioned earlier that I bought raw a few months ago and submitted to SGC. Little off center left to right, but everything else is really super clean on this. And there's the back of the 62 Fleer. Now this one I did a reveal video and I was worried about this print line going across when I submitted it. I mean, I personally don't care, but I'm guessing that may have affected what final grade I got, but it all worked out. It's in a slab. It looks great. And yeah, this is a really, really tough card too to find. And then we get the big three of the 1963 Fleer set. This Bonacani I picked up in a trade at the same show, the Apopka, Florida show a few months ago. Got it in a trade. We both walked away happy. That's all that mattered. A little off center for what I normally would want, but considering what I gave up to get it, I'm happy with it. Bold color on this. It's really just the centering that's a little bit off. And on the back, we're talking about the red stripe, no red stripe. That's the red stripe that they're referring to. The Bonacani just has the red stripe since this card is not divisible by 4. But the Allworth does have 2 versions if you're into really into completing sets. So that's the Bonacani. Here comes the Len Dawson. This one I picked up I've had this maybe a year now, maybe a little less than a year. Really happy with this. It's graded a PSA 3, and it looks like there's, I don't know if that's shadow or what that is. No, that's a little spot down there. I think on both corners. No, just the one. The one bad thing about sticking your cards in front of a high-res camera is it shows everything. It sees better than we do. But yeah, there's the Len Dawson. Again, this one only has a red stripe. at the bottom. There it is. And last but certainly not least, this is my Lance Allworth. Now, I'm a huge Allworth fan. Outside of Jerry Rice and maybe Don Hudson, the greatest wide receiver the game's ever seen. This card is notoriously off-center too. I held out for a while for a centered copy and was able to get one about, 7-8 months ago. I was finally able to find one that I really liked, that was centered really well and presented well. And here it is. And here's the back. Mine has the red stripe. I don't think they're the graders don't denote red stripe, no red stripe on the labels. So not sure these carry much of a premium if they don't have the red stripe, but I have heard that the non-red stripe versions are scarcer for what it's worth. So there's that. Mine's got the stripe. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with my 63 Fleer Lance Allworth. I love it. It's a great looking card. I think it's one of those vintage football cards that can be a keystone to your collection. It's one of the biggest cards of the decade and of one of the greatest players to ever play. So adding one of these to your collection is not a bad idea, in my opinion, for sure. But I'm not here to tell you what to do. It's just one of those opinions of mine that having players like this in your collection is never a bad thing, in my opinion. So yeah, what do you think? 60 to 63 Fleer, I think, are some of the best looking cards of the 60s. Those four sets, along with the 65 Topps Tall Boys, those are my top 5 of the decade for me. And one thing I did want to point out is with 61 Fleer, the cards of the Baltimore Colts just look outstanding. I'm going to throw a couple pictures up here. It's something about the blue uniforms on the white cardstock that just make them pop. They just look amazing. So like the Lenny Moore and the John Unitas, just the Raymond Berry, they look great. Just wanted to point that out for some odd reason. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I love doing these little data dive things and looking at sets. Again, it gives me an excuse to pull some cards out that I don't normally have out and I don't normally look at that often. So it's kind of fun to go back and look at them and share them all with you. Anyway, hope you have a great Sunday and a great rest of your weekend, and we will talk soon. See ya.